where we saw so many kids disrupting traffic, engaging in fights, the chaos eventually leading to another shooting later Saturday night, leaving 2 people in the hospital. Mayor Lightfoot saying the city has actually had a curfew of 11 p.m. for young people since 1992.
And was not in any trouble.
I would put my hand on the Bible. My son that one was not into anything. He was not.
She says he was a good person and a good father to his 5-year-old daughter, Jordan.
I love my daddy.
When we did the medical examination, that child had 0 food in her stomach.
At one point back in 2019, the family was on the radar of the Department of Children and Families.
Operation Candyman, a major crackdown led by state police to try to get illegal prescription drugs off the streets.
And part of it was this raid this morning at a health clinic on Detroit's west side.
Hey, y'all. Y'all know, I'm clicking the wrong damn. Okay, here we go.
Let's talk about real life issues. Love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Yeah. Celebrities. Let's talk about current events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on PGT Time. PGT Time. Tune in on PGT Time. PGT Time. Come join us on PGT Time. PGT Time. Join us on PGT Time. PGT Time. Yeah.
PGT time. Hey. We are back. What's going on, y'all? I miss y'all. Even though I just saw y'all on Saturday, I still miss y'all. It's your girl, the missus. The missus with the kisses. Mwah. How are you all doing today? I am doing just peachy, baby. I'm doing just peachy. Let me scoop my camera back, son. There we go. I am doing just peachy. I hope you all are doing just peachy just as well. I keep saying we because, you know, I'm on with Pooley and then I'm on with Jason. And y'all know I'm trying to go ahead and share this video. Now, I can only share the video once I go live, okay? So don't think, well, why she didn't share before she went live? That's the only way I can share it. We got to be live first, okay? So, y'all, I told y'all things going to be a little different going forward because of me being monetized now. And one day I'm going to be able to go and sit down with you all and let you all know how everything works and stuff because there's a lot to it. It's a lot to it. But it's all good. It's all good. So, y'all going to hear a lot of different music in the background. Right now, you're just gonna hear PGT time. You're gonna hear PGT time. So that's one of the changes. That's one of them. Okay, just one. But I really hope you all enjoy the show tonight. We will not have a motivation tonight because I still have to get that squared away to see what I can use for motivations and what I can't use. I'm thinking about starting to do my own motivations. So I think that'll be cool just as well to do my own. I do try to do them on Mondays. Yeah, on Mondays. I do them every Monday. Well, try to do them every Monday. And I just post a motivation. I posted one today. So I will try to continue to do those just as well. And that's about it. Because I got a show for y'all tonight. And we got to get started. Okay? We got to get started. So y'all already know what come first. It got to be the fair usage. So here go our fair usage. Before we get into any of these clips. Hey, Miss Leila, I see you sneaking on up in here, girl. Hi, Miss Leila. You are right on time, girl. We just got started. Like I said, I'm finna play my fair usage. Thank you all for showing up tonight. Anybody that's new in the building, hey, boos. What's good? And thank you for joining. Please subscribe. please subscribe. I hope I'm not too loud, y'all, but please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're still trying to get high numbers. So please subscribe right now if you can. If you can't, it's okay. Just make sure you do it after the show. Okay. Hey, Jose. I love you, Jose. We got BG in the building. BG, every time I see you on here, I always say, dang, I forgot to post the picture. But I did get the picture. I am going to post it. I'm going to try to post it tonight if I don't forget. But thank you so much for sending me the picture. Girl, you looking all cute with your peachy tea time attire on and everything. But thank y'all so much. So we finna get started because, like I said, I don't want to hold y'all too long. And we got a show. I'm gonna be talking about some folks. I'm telling y'all now. I'm gonna be talking about some people. Let me show y'all this. I'm talking about her. Rhonda Tillman. I'm talking about her tonight. Y'all look at that lipstick. I'm talking about her ugly ass tonight. Explicit language. I don't know how long we're gonna be able to do explicit language, y'all. But explicit language is gonna be tonight. Oh, yes, it is. But explicit language and everything, of course, is allegedly. Okay. But we're gonna all talk about Rhonda Tillman tonight. Okay. Yeah, that is a girl. That's a girl. With that red. You know what? We're gonna wait till we get to the story and I'm gonna tell you what I see it. But here go the fair usage, you guys.
Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Sharita said, what is that? What did I done walk into? That is our fair usage. This is our new fair usage. Sharita, thanks for joining us tonight, boo. Got a great show for y'all tonight. But yes, that is our new fair usage. You know, since we're monetized now, Sharita, girl, we gotta do things a little different. So I thought I'd make it look funny just as well instead of me just reading it. So let's get started, y'all. We finna take it to Chicago, baby. We finna take it to Chicago first, okay? So here we go. Y'all know I can't stand that man. Y'all know I can't. When you see him, you'll know who I'm talking about. All right, y'all. Now, Sharita, before we get started with me talking about Chicago, Sharita said, who's that? She said, no the hell. What's going on? Who is that? Girl. She said, no, the man. Yeah, no, it's not a man. That is a girl. And her name is Rhonda Tillman. That is a girl, y'all. But we're going to come back to her, okay? We're going to come back to her. We gonna come back. We're going to come back, okay, Sarita? Sarita, we're going to come back. Chicago. Let's get into Chicago. I agree wholeheartedly what they are doing as far as with Millennium Park. This is something that they actually had this curfew, and y'all gonna hear it on one of the other clips. But they had this curfew since 1992 that the young adults had to be back at home at the crib by 11 o'clock. Well, they don't give a damn. Police gets no respect. Okay, they can care less about police at this moment. They doing their thing, and as you can see, it was total chaos. A 16-year-old was shot and killed that night just as well, and I'm going to show y'all him just as well. And his mother, she was distraught over this, you know. But my thing is, the lieutenant or the superintendent, whatever he is, he said the parents was calling for what? What you calling for? What you let your kids go down there for? For what? Y'all, Chicago, when I started doing Peachy Tea Time, I was tough on Chicago. Chicago couldn't even have gatherings, y'all. Okay? My kids getting ready for bed, so y'all might hear them. But they couldn't even have gatherings. They would be like at home. And in Chicago, I guess they got a lot of alleys. So people would come up through the alleys and just start busting. You know what I'm saying? And I covered a lot of that in the beginning of Peach Tea Time. So if y'all want to see any other Chicago clips, all you gotta do is go on YouTube and you will see them. And it says bright as day, Chicago. Okay? Chi-town. But why would you allow your child to go down there and now you're calling? Okay, so let's just say, well, I didn't allow my child to go down there. They just went down there anyways. Okay, so you're calling down there to see if your child down there. Why you ain't take yourself down there when you had the feeling that they was down there? That's what I'm talking about. It's not a good environment right now for people to be out just hanging out, especially in Chicago, in Philly, in Houston. The list goes on, even in Atlanta, you know. But some places, it all depends on where you are. Some cities are just huge and you can do things. Chicago is one of them, but you got to go on the white folks side of town. I'm sorry. Next side of town, nah. Y'all don't need to get together. Don't get together. Don't even get together in your house. Do virtual. Do virtual. I don't think they'll come shooting up nothing that's virtual because they don't even know. And let's try to go live. So let's get into this next clip.
There were multiple shootings during the chaos downtown Saturday night. It resulted in Mayor Lori Lightfoot imposing a weekend curfew for anyone under the age of 18 in Millennium Park after 6 p.m. without an adult.
She was joined by community leaders for a news conference addressing public safety. CBS News' Sal Razai is live from City Hall, where that just wrapped up. Sal.
Yeah, Mugo Ryan, the mayor really beginning her remarks here this morning by expressing her sadness regarding the shooting that left a 16-year-old dead in Millennium Park this Saturday. Now, the mayor, joined by community faith leaders, city park officials, along with chief of safety staff from the Chicago Public School District, really all coming together to say a real change needs to happen downtown to ensure the safety of young people who are coming down here on weekends. Of course, this coming after this weekend specifically, where we saw so many kids disrupting traffic, engaging in fights, the chaos eventually leading to another shooting later Saturday night, leaving 2 people in the hospital. Mayor Lightfoot saying the city has actually had a curfew of 11 p.m. for young people since 1992. She says she's signing an executive order to move that curfew down to 10 p.m. Important to note, this policy is different than the one that will be implemented specifically in Millennium Park.
First, we are imposing new time, place, and manner restrictions on unaccompanied minors at Millennium Park. Starting this Thursday through Sunday, unaccompanied minors will not be allowed into Millennium Park after 6 p.m. Now, I want to be clear. It gives me no pleasure to impose these rules and restrictions. But having exhausted every other opportunity, every other tool and remedy, we've got to go to this next step to make sure that our jewel of Millennium Park.
Now, officials with CPS here this morning saying they will be sending home a letter with all students outlining that new policy to make sure that parents are all aware of the new rules. Now, as far as enforcement goes, Mayor Lightfoot not really clear on the consequences here this morning of people who do not abide by this new policy, really saying that there are no plans for mass arrests or any citations. She says she's counting on community policing and officers to disperse crowds under this new policy and keeping things under control. For now, I'm live outside of City Hall. That's all reside.
What's the purpose? Lock their asses up. I don't care how old they is. Take them to juvenile, wherever they need to go. What is you going to have this curfew for and no one's going to be penalized? Lock these parents up. Give the parents some fines. But don't sit there and do nothing. You mean to tell me that you ain't gonna do nothing, Lightfoot? That's why her name Lightfoot. That's why it's Lightfoot. Like, you're not gonna do nothing. There is no consequences. You just gonna tell these kids don't come. These kids is dancing out of cars, in the roofs, on the sides of the door, dancing. You think them young girls go, baby, they can care less. If you ain't finding these parents, you're not taking these kids to jail, you got to come up with something. Because just telling them that they got to be out of there by 6 o'clock, unless they got a parent with them, that ain't going to work. Y'all don't have enough officers to control everybody. So what is the purpose? What is the purpose? You think they finna be scared? BG, I have no idea who voted for her. BG, I wish you would have been watching my show since day one. Baby, I used to go in on Mayor Lightfoot. Do you hear me? Her and the minion of hers, the superintendent or whatever he is. This is ridiculous. It's like they are letting Chicago go down. That's what they're doing. Letting Chicago go downhill. Only in our black community, though. Only in our black community. Because you still got companies that's moving to Chicago, opening up restaurants, talking about, oh, this is the best place for us to be with our company. But Juju and them over there getting shot and killed across the way. Baby, they better go on somewhere. And here go the young man that actually got shot out there that weekend, this weekend that just passed. And this is why they're doing the curfew, besides all them kids being out there and they ain't got enough police officers. Here we go.
CBS 2's Sharday Gray joins us now from Millennium Park. She's live there. Sharday, you spoke to the mom of that teenager who was killed and others who knew him.
Yeah, that's right, Dana. And this is where 16-year-old Shondell Holiday lost his life. His mother, who didn't want to be on camera, said her son was a very intelligent young man who fixed computers and cell phones, but his life was cut too short after a large group gathered at Millennium Park.
My heart dropped because this is not my first rodeo. I've done too many funerals for boys and young men under 18.
16-year-old Shondell Holiday, a freshman at Gary Coleman High School, joined a program to keep young men out of violence last year. It's called Champs Mentoring.
Mentorship is prevention.
Londell Singleton started the program, who says Shondell had a bright future ahead of him.
Very intelligent, always respectful. Our interactions were more about what he needed to do to get to the next level.
He says Shondell wrote down 10 goals. One of those goals was to reach the age of 21.
So the next day we had a conversation in class about why he put that. And he said, it's just so many things that happen in Chicago that you can die at any point in any day.
This video that's been circulating around social media shows the moments before Shondell was shot in the chest Saturday night.
Sounded like a shot went off in the middle of the park.
Chicago police and the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office says Shondell was standing by the Bean statue when he was shot in the chest.
What's the ETA on the ambulance?
Because I heard about this while I was at my party.
Kareem Wells started the Quo Foundation, standing for Know Your Genius, work to be unstoppable, own your actions, and explore the world.
Show you something different.
He, along with so many other organizations, wants to keep kids from migrating to violence.
See me walking with this flag, they would laugh because this ain't cool. This ain't cool. But to save lives, to me, it's very cool.
The city says they're working with mentor programs such as Champs to come to a solution where kids can gather downtown, but it doesn't get out of hand.
Now, all they have to do is find something for these kids to do. They need to find something. And this is everywhere, not just in Chicago. Stuff like this is happening everywhere, y'all. This stuff been happening. This stuff happened in Saginaw when I was growing up. Moved to Saginaw when I was 12 years old. Left a white community. I mean, I hung around black people, don't get me wrong. You know, everybody in my area was black. But when we went to school, Sharita, you know what I'm talking about. When we went to school, it was all white people. And you just hung around your black people like you segregated and shit. I'm just being honest. It was like a big old segregation. We ain't look at it like that back then. But as adults, Sharita, I bet you look at it like that now. And all the black people hung around black people. And all the white people seem like they hung around each other. But at the end of the day, I don't recall any shootings happening at that school. Now, did shootings happen at my school? No, but people got beat up, left in puddles of blood. We had metal detectors. We had security guards. We had all that. It was times where I would go out. And I tell y'all this all the time. They get the shooting in Saginaw. We had got to the point where we got immune to it. And we still wasn't ready to go. Oh, they done shooting? They got them out? All right, let's party. I can't play my Snoop Dogg no more, y'all. They tried to get me. But y'all know what I'm saying. You know, we did the same stuff that they're doing. I did. But was it as bad as it is now? Not that I'm aware of, it wasn't. Not that I'm aware of. I wasn't scared to go out and do these things and have fun and party and all that. Even though I knew I probably had heard a day or two that they were going to get to fighting or something. I still went. It didn't matter. So, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Belinda, hey, Belinda. Belinda said, hey, cousin, my son's father was carjacked at gunpoint 2 weeks ago. Just out door dashing in broad daylight. Shaking my head. And I got a story tonight that I'm going to show y'all that happened in broad daylight at a gas station. You know, it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. No one cares about nobody's life no more. They just don't. At least that's what it seemed like. So we're finna go ahead and keep it moving, y'all. Well, I do have an update. So we're finna show the update right now before we get into this next topic. Here we go.
News starts now with a breaking news alert.
First at 4, breaking news with more charges in the shooting death of a 7-year-old girl in Pontiac. This time, a teenager suspected of pulling the trigger has been charged. 7-year-old Aria Jackson was shot on March 18th while coming home from school with her mom, her sister, and her cousins. Her mother said an orange SUV drove up with 2 men inside and shots were fired. Oakland County Sheriff's deputies say 19-year-old Justin Rouser is a member of the 4-block street gang. He was arraigned today on 10 felony charges, including first-degree murder. Right now, there is no connection between him, the victim, or her family. As we told you yesterday, police are still looking for Jawan McDonald, also charged with first-degree murder. Deputies say he was driving the SUV. There's a $10,000 reward being offered for information that leads to his arrest.
Do y'all remember that? Y'all remember I showed y'all this story? The 7-year-old that was, she was 7 years old. And she was murdered. I'm trying to show y'all something that I know that y'all should remember. If y'all don't remember anything else, y'all should remember this. Because this was on the thumbnail. This picture right here. This picture. And we talked about how cute the little boy looked with the braids and everything. And we was like, oh, yeah, he gonna get caught. Jawan. That was his name, Jawan. Or Jawan. However they want to say. You know, you say it any type of way in nowadays. But remember, they was looking for him. He was the driver. So they was looking for him. And we all said that he will get caught. And we all was right. He did get caught. But I want y'all to see what he looks like now. Y'all gotta see this. Here we go.
Bond denied. The young man accused of being the getaway driver of the deadly shooting of a 7-year-old girl is going to stay behind bars. 17-year-old Jawan McDonald will also be tried as an adult as he faces a count of first-degree murder.
Prosecutors say McDonald was behind the wheel when 7-year-old Aria Jackson was fatally shot as she was coming home from school. Megan Woods joins us live. She's in Pontiac tonight with more. Megan.
Well, when we spoke to Oakland County Sheriff last week, he was very firm in the role of McDonald as the accused driver is still a major role in the death of Aria Jackson, just a 7-year-old. So even though McDonald is a 17-year-old, he's charged as an adult. We saw in court today that they took it one step further.
We have no means of assuring public safety. Therefore, we would request that bond be denied.
The judge did deny McDonald's bond, but attorneys took it one step further, asking if McDonald could stay housed in the county jail.
His conduct in this case specifically targeted juveniles. The deceased victim was a 7-year-old girl. There were also 3 other children in the car. And I believe the Oakland County Jail is the appropriate place for this defendant.
McDonald's attorney, Neil Rockheim, fought those conditions. The final decision is pending on another judge's review. Now that 3 of what investigators are calling 4-block gang members are in custody in connection to 7-year-old Araya Jackson's death, community leaders like Pastor Douglas Jones of Welcome Missionary Baptist Church say it's a new dawn for Pontiac.
The fact that they were able to secure 3 of those persons right away, and when I say right away, in a short period of time, what that has said is, you know what? If we speak up, if we do something, we can stop this right away.
While this case moves forward, Pastor Jones says so will the community.
What's next is to say we got to keep up the pressure. We're saying we got to stop all of this happening within our neighborhood. Let's make our neighborhoods a safe neighborhood. Then that makes it a safe city.
And to do that, he says the sheriff's office, the mayor, local organizations, churches, they're all coming together. Local organizations like Pontiac Universal Crime, they're all coming together to, make this a better place, to make it a safer city. And as for the other 2 suspects involved in this case, Justin Rouser is the suspected shooter. He's facing 10 felony charges, and Dejion Bryan is charged with lying to a peace officer during a violent crime investigation. So there's still so much to come in this case. Back to you.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm still going to applaud them. I'm still going to applaud them because they did catch them. You know what I'm saying? They did catch them. So, yeah, she was a beautiful little girl. Beautiful. She was sitting in the car. Her mom and some more family members was getting the groceries out the car, and she was still sitting in the car. And the boys came up and just shot it up. And she got struck, Sad. Very, very sad. But I will continue to follow the story so that we can see how it turns out and everything. Next up, let's go. Y'all, next up is them parents. Is these folks. They are next up. But before we get into them, we're going to go ahead and get into our talent for the night. All right? Here we go.
Yeah, my feet are on the ground thanks to gravity. Fire in the sky, passing by through the breeze. Can I be relieved from this state of being? I just wanna leave, I ain't gotta pack a thing. Everything I wanna bring is inside of me. Take me to the stars, you can levitate me with the beam. We get down to the wire, the world is on fire. Take me away on your spaceship, please. Here on planet Earth. Can you take me away? Let's get on. Here on planet Earth. Can you take me away? I'm so tired of people. That's tired of people. People, they lie to people. Try to divide the people. Then they hire just to fire and deny the people. I'd rather descend to the sky and just admire people. Mother Earth is dying, people, and all we do is deny that we are Oedipus complected. We fucking her into darkness. I've been coughing up a lung for a couple days. Is it COVID or the smog that I consume on a regular basis? But to my unidentified flying object in the sky, If you touch down by my crib, my intention is to ride. Every time the government denied, I knew it was a lie. I'd be so appreciative if you would beam me up tonight. Oh, don't you know it's ghetto? Oh, don't you know it's ghetto? Oh, don't you know it's ghetto? It's ghetto. Oh, don't you know it's ghetto? Oh, don't you know it's ghetto? Oh, don't you know it's ghetto? Yeah, you know it's ghetto here on planet Earth. 40 million unemployed and grandma can't even go to church. Yeah, you know it's ghetto here on planet Earth. After Kobe Bryant died, the world took a turn for the worse. For sure, you know it's ghetto here on planet Earth. They swear that global warming's fake. I swear these winters getting shorter. Yeah, you know it's ghetto.
Yeah, he's right. It's ghetto. It took a turn for the worse after Kobe left. It was already bad, but it did take a turn for the worse. I mean, that's my opinion. What's up, Jay? Jay is in the building. Hey, Jay. Everybody, please go and support my mentor. His name is Jay. His podcast is called the AFC Podcast, which is on YouTube. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. I'm drinking. But it's on YouTube. Please go and check him out. He covers the same stories as I do, except for he deals with children. A lot of children. So go ahead, check him out. Make sure you subscribe to his page. And also, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. If you are in YouTube right now, please hit the thumbs up right now, okay? And if you're in Facebook watching, hit the like button. Go on and show me some love. Hit that like button and share the video. That's very important because everybody needs to be watching this, okay? Everybody. We are here to bring awareness. That's what we're here for. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get into these parents, y'all. Sharita, I know you've been waiting on this. This is what Sharita waiting on. This is what she waiting on. So here we go, y'all.
Regis Johnson and Aranda Tillman.
Regis Johnson and Aranda Tillman just went before a judge in Bartow who set their bond at $500,000 each. They're accused of starving their 2-year-old daughter to death.
If you can imagine looking at such a heartbreaking sight, basically it was just bones and skin.
A relative, Frank Robertson, who lives with him in Davenport, has also been arrested. He's accused of watching the child go downhill month after month and not reporting it. The 2-year-old was born at 6 pounds, 10 ounces. 2 years and 10 months later, she had gained only 3 pounds. On Wednesday, Johnson called 911 and said the baby was not breathing. When deputies arrived, they found her dead in a blow-up pool being used as a playpen.
When this baby died on May the 10th, she couldn't stand. She couldn't talk. She couldn't walk. This baby never got to be this big because of these people.
The Department of Children and Families investigated the couple back in 2019 because the baby wasn't gaining weight. The case was closed after caseworkers decided that Tillman and Johnson were complying with an improvement plan. Tillman just told investigators that she's pregnant again. The sheriff says there's no indication that she's gotten any prenatal care, but now she will.
And when that child's born, then that child will be placed with some loving people that will raise and take care of that child, because our goal is she's never out of prison again.
She may not be the only one spending a lot of time behind bars. They're all charged with the same thing, and that is negligent child abuse. If convicted, we're talking about years and years in prison.
They need to be charged with murder, flat out. Even the uncle or brother, whatever he was, they need to be charged with murder. When I tell y'all, this brought tears to my eyes, because you have so many women out there that can't have kids, that want to have kids. I didn't have my first child till I was 35 years old. I started trying at 30. So that's 5 years of not knowing if I could have kids or not. And I was broken, hurt. I remember calling one of my friends, telling her I felt less of a woman because I didn't have kids. And then when you have, hold on, this mess, Regis and Aranda, mess. I'm like, did she put this lipstick on right before she took this mugshot? And the lipstick is all up by her mustache. Look at her head. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I just knew this was a man. But it is not. Ain't nothing allegedly about that. That is a woman. And she might be possibly pregnant now. But here, you couldn't even afford a damn playpen. You know, when my kids had a playpen, we had the little extra shit on there. You know, the stuff that they charge an extra $30, $40 for. You know, just because it's on the playpen. They had it all. The regular playpens with nothing in it, $15, $20, $30 probably. Not even it. Probably about $20. If you go to a garage sale, probably get it for $5. Hell, I was giving it away for free. And y'all done went and got a pool and got this baby laid in the pool. And the one that's there with y'all, that man, you allowed this thing? Oh, yeah, you need to go down too. They need to take your ass down too. Sure do. This is ridiculous. I don't know if y'all really paid attention. This baby in 2020, okay? They took the baby to the doctor. Let me jump. Y'all know I jump from stuff to stuff to stuff. Let me say this. Jay on AFC podcast, he always say babies for benefits. That some of these parents is out here having these babies for benefits. Y'all, this is a prime example of babies for benefits. They only took that baby to the doctor in 2020 because they had to. Probably in order for them to continue to get their benefits. Took the baby to the doctor. The babies had gained 3 pounds. 3, something like that. But from the time in 2020 that they took that baby to the doctor, and they was like, okay, we finna close the case, because they closed the case. The defects case, that's what I'm gonna call it, defects. So that's what they call it here. They closed the case because the baby had gained a little bit of weight. From 2020 until that baby died, that baby only gained 1 ounce. Not even a pound. Not even a freaking pound. Ounces. Y'all, I'm finna get to y'all. I'm coming to y'all. I'm coming to y'all. You know, y'all, they in the comments, they like, what? This is unbelievable. 1 ounce. When they found that baby, the baby had nothing in her stomach. And when I tell y'all the baby cute, I don't have a picture of the baby. But the baby is so cute. You wouldn't have never known that she had this baby. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. You wouldn't have never known. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of the baby, y'all. I didn't want to show the baby. But let me see if I can find the baby. And this happened in Florida. This happened in Florida. You know, they say Florida got the worst stuff going on. Florida ain't shit. That's how I feel. That's what I say about Florida. But yeah, I don't see it right now. But I'm gonna find the baby for y'all, and I'll post it on my page. That's what I do, because I don't want to hold y'all up, because we still got some more stories to do. But yeah. So let's get into these comments. We're gonna get into the comments, and then I'm gonna play the next clip. And y'all ain't gonna be too happy with the next clip. So Veronica says, monsters. That's so sad. BG, why don't we have an automatic death penalty for baby killers? Thank you. In 2022, no excuses. And these lying social workers need to be prosecuted too. Falsifying documents, pretending to make home visits. And they ain't going to nobody's house. Some of them is, but a lot of them is not, baby. There's not going. BG said, you want to check? Bring the child in first. I'm going to leave that right there. Everything has to change, and people don't want to face it. But many of the kids are born for a check, and drugs are bought with EBT. Should have been had welfare reform. Yes, 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 yes. The state failed her too. I agree. I agree, Veronica. Because DFACS should have never closed that case. You only seen this baby just because if it was a weight issue, this is what you seeing this baby for? You just gonna close the case? This baby could not walk. This baby could not talk. None of that. None of that. Sharita said, that is murder. Leave them at the police station and keep it pushing if you don't want them. Gain no weight. They better take that new baby away. Do these people have a record of mental issues? I can't say yes, but allegedly, per me, allegedly, they might not have a mental issue, but they got a drug issue. Look at that lipstick. Who in the hell gonna put that lipstick on? Ugh. Ugh. They're making my stomach hurt. She making my stomach hurt, y'all. She making my stomach hurt. That's crazy. Look, BG said, agreed, Demensis. Maybe the COs will starve them. They need to starve. The same way they made that baby die. This baby had nothing in her stomach. Nothing. I hope this the next clip I play. She said, wow, again, this kind of mess makes me so angry. Belinda, yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's ridiculous. We finna get into this next clip with these parents. I think this is the one where they're going to say more information. But here we go.
The little girl's parents, Regis Johnson and Arhonda Tillman, and another family member, Frank Robertson, are all accused of withholding food from the baby month after month until she couldn't hold out any longer and finally died.
When we did the medical examination, that child had zero food in her stomach.
At one point back in 2019, the family was on the radar of the Department of Children and Families. The case was closed after an undisclosed period of time, after investigators felt Johnson and Tillman were feeding the 2-year-old better and she was improving. That's typically what happens, according to former prosecutor and family law attorney Joshua Sheridan.
If the child was gaining weight over the period of time, if they had done welfare checks or surprise checks and the refrigerator was full and, you know, the house was clean and all these sorts of things, if that happens enough over a period of time and they're not terminating parental rights, at some point they'll say, okay, we've done what we can do here and kind of close the book.
It's unclear if the state ever followed up, but one thing is clear. Other players in the state's child protective system paint a picture of DCF as an agency under duress.
I stopped short of throwing stones at this point in the investigation at DCF, because DCF is called to hundreds of events every day.
Heartland for Children, one of the community agencies that contracts with the state to adopt out and foster kids, just released this statement. This case is an example of why a strong child welfare system with a stable workforce, adequate resources, services, and supports is so important. There are still a lot of questions that need to be answered to understand the full picture. So it appears at this point, DCF may have followed its own protocols. But the question is, was that enough?
And usually what happens is something like this that causes people to take attention and look at how can we make this better? So, you know, hopefully maybe this triggers some kind of reform.
Before the next child dies of starvation or abuse.
All right, y'all. That's sad. That is so sad. That's sad. Like, they didn't even care and they had food. They had food in there. Like, what could they have possibly been doing, y'all, besides drugs? Allegedly. Because I have to say it. But how can I say this? We as a community of PGT time, we know how the game goes. My Peaches and Mr. Peaches is not stupid and crazy. Y'all know doggone well if these folks had food in the house, these folks had to been on drugs for them to sit there and let this baby just die. Not let the baby get sick. Not let the baby get taken away, go to a nice, healthy family that would take care of. They sat there and let this baby die. Yeah, people can say mental health issues all they want to. Ain't no mental health issues to me. And the man, they ain't even say it on this clip. The man, the daddy, y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? The daddy was a deacon. Let me bring that picture back up so y'all can see. Allegedly. He helped. Now, he might not have been a deacon. I may have went a little too far with it. But he was at the church helping her. Supposed to have been helping her, and instead he took advantage of her. That's how I look at it. He saw that red lipstick on her black ass and was like, look. He did one of these numbers. Red lipstick, black ass. Got him. Got him. I'm like, what the hell is this? Bronze, I bet they ugly crackhead ass ate them. Yes, the state failed this child and it still happens. Yes, Melinda. People, please, mentally ill people still know right from wrong. Now stop it. Yes, they do. They do not know right from wrong. But this was drugs, BG. This was drugs all day long. I don't care what nobody say. This was drugs. If I see that lipstick again, I'm leaving. Girl, she had the lipstick way up. Was you trying to cover up your mustache? Like, what's going on in the city? I'm not playing with y'all. It looked like she told them folk when she got down there to the jail. They said, come on, y'all, it's time to take your picture. She said, hold on. I'm not even finna use my Peachy Kisses lipstick for this. I will not use my Peachy Kisses lipstick to demonstrate. But y'all can go and purchase it off my website. The website is up and running again. Thank you, Fred. We was having technical difficulties, baby. But seriously, though, I'm telling y'all, they need to be locked up for good. They don't need to get back out. They don't even need to you know what I would do? Because you know they're going to have to sober up. They're going to have to sober up. They're going to have to come back to their senses. When she had that baby, I would let her hold that baby. I would let her see the baby. You can't even hold it. I would let her see the baby, say, look, this is what a baby's supposed to look like. This ain't what you did. Say goodbye. You can't even get a baby no kisses. Goodbye. And the baby that died was born at like 6'9", 6 pounds, 7 ounces, 9 ounces, somewhere up in there. So this baby was healthy. Veronica says, she said, I'm killing them with this red lipstick and this mugshot. Bye-bye. Did you say this is happening? Yes, this happened in Florida. It was on the Tampa, Florida news site. Yes. This was crazy. It was crazy. Crazy. Well, now what you all have been waiting on. I didn't play this in the beginning. because I knew that family members would be on tonight. No one in my family knew what I was going to do as far as this story. To those that are my friends, but may not be my mom's friend on Facebook. My mom got a lot of friends, my friends as her friends on Facebook. But if you did see my mother's post, you probably saw that she mentioned that her nephew's mother was killed at the Buffalo market called Tops. One thing about PGT time is I'm always 100% honest with y'all. Always. And when my mom posted that, I got so many calls and text messages. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know your cousin, mother, your auntie. That's what they said. I didn't know your auntie was murdered and all this stuff. And I want to let everyone know that I did not know her. I do not know my cousin. My mother was adopted into a family as a child, as a baby. My mom's mom passed away when she was 7 months old. So, and she never knew her father. But she was adopted. She knew her grandmother and all of that. So a lot of our family members is through adoption. And there's so many of them that I don't know them. I did reach out to him. I did do that to give my condolences. I will try my best to follow up and hope that he reaches back out. And hopefully one day in the future, he will be able to come on the show. And I didn't ask him to come on the show. I didn't do that. But hopefully one day he will, just to, let everybody know his thoughts and everything on everything that happened. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine losing my mom at a grocery store. A place that we all have to go to. Whether you go daily, once a week, or every 2 weeks. However way you go to the grocery store. Even if you do the Instacart. You can Instacart all day long. But one day you're going to need to go to that grocery store because you can't wait on Instacart. So with that being said, this show is dedicated to my cousin's mother. There she is right there. Belinda, you are in the comments. My heart goes out to you, Belinda, and to the rest of the family. She looks to be like a beautiful, beautiful lady. When I went on the page, on Wayne's page, well, that's her son Wayne, you all. When I went on his page, all the love that came behind it. This was so senseless. But at the same time, it was so scary to know that it's a possibility that we go to the grocery store and we may not make it back. I do have a clip. I don't know if they're going to block me for it, but I don't care at this point because this is a clip that I felt like you all needed to see, which was a mother and daughter who both was inside the store, and the daughter actually worked there, but they both was there. They both ended up going separate ways. We will talk about that just as well, because I don't know if a lot of you will agree with what the mom did or if you will agree. I don't know. But she did explain herself and why she did what she did. So I want you guys to stick around for that so we could discuss that. And I do have some pictures. Let me start with this. The first lady, that is my cousin's mother, Celestine Cheney. And she was murdered inside of there. Then you have Hayward Patterson. Now, these was all the people that were 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 that was murdered. So you got Hayward Patterson, Pearl Young, Roberta Drury, Ruth Whitfield. I can't see the last name. Aaron Salter, Catherine Massey, Andre McNeil, Geraldine Talley, Margus D. Morris. My heart, and my prayers go out to each and every family member that was affected by this shooting. I'm so sorry. And it seemed like it was a town that never really dealt with stuff like this. You know, they dealt with killings, but you know, sometimes, like I was saying, your city or your state may be so big to where it's happening over there, but not in your community. You only see it on the news or on YouTube, podcasts, you know what I'm saying? PGT time, you know? And it's sad. It's so, so sad. And again, my heart goes out to every family. To my cousin Wayne, who I've never met before a day in my life. If I seen him walking in the street, I will only know him now because of that picture. But Wayne, if you ever see this, I'm so sorry. I'm so, so sorry. And my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry. So, y'all, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Like I said, I do have some pictures. So I'll be showing pictures in the process just as well. But here go the first clip. We have a few clips on this. So let's get started. Here we go.
And that breaking news is in Western New York, where at least 10 people have been killed at a grocery store in Buffalo.
Witnesses say a man armed with a rifle entered that market and opened fire. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sandra Booker.
And I'm Joe Torres. The situation in Buffalo is still very fluid. New updates coming in by the minute. Eyewitness News reporter Naveen Dhaliwal joins us from the newsroom with the breaking details. Naveen?
Yeah, Sandra, Joe, the situation is getting worse with every update, but we can report this is no longer an active shooting with a suspect in custody at this time. Shots rang out around 2:30 this afternoon at a Tops supermarket. A witness told a reporter at our sister station in Buffalo that they heard dozens of shots. Buffalo police confirm several people were hit, and there are reports that at least 10 people have been killed. Of course, this situation is very highly fluid and the circumstances could change. Now, Governor Hochul tweeting that she is monitoring the situation and urging everyone to stay away from the scene. People have gathered around the store waiting for word on what is happening inside and if they know anybody who has been killed. The shooting leaving many of them in shock.
It's something that is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's hard to even muster. It's unbelievable. I'm lost of words. So we do come together for one another in a time of grieving. Yes, we're pretty good. Everyone's pretty good and respectful of one another. But this right here, this is a cry out. It's just hard to explain.
A cry out for help.
Definitely, most definitely.
Again, a very fluid situation, and the details are pouring into our newsroom. Now, not much yet on the shooter, but again, he is in custody. I'll have another update coming up on Eyewitness News at 6.
All right, y'all. So that what was going on. Let's get into some comments before we go on. Let me see. Joseph said, my heart goes out to all the families. Definitely. Julie said, my son said kids were sharing the live at school. I can't believe people are watching that. And I didn't get a chance to see it. I did not get a chance to see the live. I did not want to see the live at all whatsoever. And you know, sometimes doing what I do, I have to watch certain things. But that right there was something I didn't want to see. I didn't want to see it. This is the young man that committed the crime. Let me get Julie comment off of here. Cousin Julie, I love you, boo. This is the murderer. This is the guy that ain't worth shit. He was my mama called me. We was out at the Sky thing with Audra for her birthday, and my mom called me and told me that it happened on Sunday, and she told me that it happened to her nephew's mother. And when I started doing my own research and I saw this young man, I was like, oh my gosh. When I tell y'all I got some stuff to show y'all tonight, it's ridiculous. I just said, damn shame. Mama P says, sending my condolences to all the families that lost their loved ones to this hate crime. He had the N-word from what my mother told me, and plus what I saw on news clips. He had the N-word written on the gun just as well. Josette says, senseless crime. How can an 18-year-old have this much hate to drive over 200 miles to do this? Exactly. Now, unfortunately, my show was blocked on Saturday. But me and Jessica was a guest on the show. We had such a good a good time talking about the topics that we had. And one of the topics that we talked about was how a lot of the white parents train their kids early as far as shooting, going back out hunting for deers and stuff. I wish they would have killed all the deers. I can't stand deers. I'm so scared of deers. Oh, I'm so scared of them. But anyways, that's a whole nother thing. Y'all know I jumped from one thing to another. But we talked about that. And that was one of the things that I asked Jessica. I said, Jessica, do you think that's something that we should be doing with our children at early ages, teaching them how to shoot guns, being that they're being put in positions to where they're getting them at early ages anyways, but being that they're getting them, they're not even trained to use them. So when they're with these people, gang members and all that, whoever you with, and y'all decide to sit up there and talk about killing people, doing drive-bys and stuff, a lot of these young guys, they have no training because they're so young, they can't even go and buy a gun. So that means you can't even go to the gun range and learn how to shoot because you can't even go and purchase one. You can't get a license. You can't get no permit. Nothing. And I feel like this is one of the situations with this young man. He probably, and this is allegedly, but he probably was one of those white kids that parents took them back to the woods somewhere and taught them how to shoot, but telling them that we're teaching you to shoot deers for deer meat. But is that what they're really doing? Is that what they're really doing? Are they really teaching them to shoot for deer meat? Or are they setting them up for failure to go and shoot up these schools, to go and shoot up churches, to go and shoot up grocery stores? I don't know. But we finna get into this next one, y'all. This one is something that I really wanted y'all to see just as well. This was the black man that, because y'all know this was a black community. He was targeting black people. I even saw a clip that I definitely couldn't play on here. They would definitely block me. But I saw the clip where he was inside of the store and he accidentally pointed the gun at the white people and said, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. And kept it moving. But was targeting us black people. And we ain't did nothing to your little ass. We don't even know you. Don't care to know you. But we wouldn't have harmed you or did anything to you unless you did something to us. That's it. But this is what the man had to say. He actually talked to him. He talked to him the day before. So this is what they had to talk about. Here we go.
Brady Lewis, you were in that Tops earlier this afternoon. We're going to get to that story. But you told me just a few moments ago that you actually spoke with the suspect yesterday. He was here. Tell me more about that.
I seen him and he looked strange in the neighborhood. If anybody had a genius shirt on. So I wanted to see if he was a genius. And we sat and talked about string theory, critical race theory, beginning of civilization, and he seemed like he was a genius, actually. He said he came up just to see the countryside, and he was going to go out camping. He bought a big thing, a jug of water. He had a little nervous twitch to him. I bought him something to drink, and we sat and talked for about an hour and 45 minutes after seeing the pictures and seeing the blue car that I seen him got into yesterday. So it's a shock right now, and he told me his name was Peyton. So it's a shock.
And we did see a blue car get taken away from this scene just about a half hour or so ago. And you were saying that you were speaking with him on a bench that's located outside of this Tops.
Yes.
That's the bench that earlier today, when I first got here, you were the first person I spoke to. You were telling me that bench is your office.
Yes.
And you usually like to stop and sit there and talk to people that are passing by. Today, you didn't stop.
Yes.
So walk me through your afternoon here at the Tops.
Well, I went in there and got me some a juice. And I didn't want to sit there today, so I walked across the street and I opened up my juice. And as I opened up my juice, I heard what I knew wasn't a firecracker. And I looked up and I seen the guy shooting people. Then I seen a security guard run inside, and then I seen him going after him shooting. And I saw him come back out, and he had all kind of flodge on, and glasses and helmet, and then he put the gun to his head and he dropped it. He took off his gloves, he took off his gun, he put it down, he took off his vest, and then he got on his knees and laid down and put his hands behind his back, and they arrested him at that point.
And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, you were telling me about the security guard, the former Buffalo police officer who has tragically died in this incident. You were telling me today he told you no lingering around the store. We gotta keep it clear.
Yes.
You credited that man with saving your life.
Yes, I heard him say to someone, "There's no lingering around the store." So me knowing that he was a Buffalo police officer, I never really wanted to give him an opportunity to say anything to me. So when I do go, I shop and I leave, and that's the reason why I left. Because I heard him tell people that a couple times. So you don't ever really got to tell me something 4 or 5 times for me to understand. And from what I heard, he went back and he shot at him when he went in the store. So yeah, but if he wasn't there, I would have been sitting there. So I'm definitely thankful that I heard him say that. Yes, I'm definitely thankful to Mr. Salters. Yes, definitely.
That's what you call pay attention and listen and follow instructions and direction. And it wasn't none but God, because he said he go there all the time. And I understand what he mean by his office, because my daddy used to say all the time McDonald's down the street from my mama was his office. And went up there every day and drank his coffee. So I get it, that he's going up there. But thank God he followed instructions, and the guy didn't even tell him to do it. He just was like, I don't want him to have to tell me. I heard him. I'm not going to sit over here today. So let's get into these comments. BG said, agreed, Josette. I expected the killer to be decades older. Probably never met a black person. Grooming, that's all this was. Yes. They canceled school for hunting season, and the kids are hunting. Let us remember the police took Dylan Roof to Burger King right after he massacred the black church. Sure did. I remember that clear as day. Ain't no telling what he did, because I'm like, how did he even get the chance to take off all of that? How did he get the chance to put the gun up to him like this, like the black man said, and then bring it down? Then take his armor stuff off. How did he get a chance to do all that without them shooting him? I don't get that. But we all know how this game goes. We all know how it goes. So we ain't going to act like we surprised. They always make it for some apparent reason. They make it out safely for the white folks. But for us, we be sitting at home like, look, We be looking at the news, or we be looking at YouTube. We be looking at YouTube like, I know they better get John right now before. Oh my God! Oh, they finna kill him. They gonna kill him. Yeah, that's the first thing we think. But this is the clip that I really wanted you all to see. This was the mother and daughter clip. And then after the mother and daughter clip, I'm going to show y'all the clip of the boy's hometown and what they got to say about what happened. I ain't liked what they had to say either. But here we go.
Describe for me, was it?
Now, I'm sorry, y'all. Make sure y'all listen to this mama, because I want to talk about what she had to say. Here we go.
Describe for me, was it something you first saw or something you first heard that alerted you that you needed to start running?
The first thing I felt was a pain in my neck. My stress point was extremely sensitive. I turned to my daughter to speak to her, and we heard gunshots. I didn't start running at that point. No one did. We all stood still and looked towards the front door before we started running. We saw the security guard backing up and going for his weapon, and we all began to run.
And Yania, you made the decision though to hide, right? You didn't start running. You wanted to hide and be quiet. Now, do you remember that moment and what came over you to make you do that instead of start running?
It was something my mom taught me since I was a kid. If you don't feel like you can run, because I was frozen in time, I literally couldn't move. So I thought best to hide instead of try to run and get caught, you know.
Yania, as you were hiding, what were you hearing around you?
I heard all the gunshots. I heard all the bodies fall. I heard everything. It was terrifying.
And Fragrance, as you're trying to run and get to safety and not sure what's going on, you have that worry, but it was also going through your head. You had to worry about your daughter as well.
Yes, I had grabbed her arm as I started running, so I'm thinking she was behind me the whole time. I never looked back. A mother and daughter both bumped into me. The daughter knocked me to the ground, so I literally thought I was gone at that point. Not sure how I got up to keep running, but I didn't look behind me until I got all the way to the back door. And I was devastated to see that my daughter wasn't with me.
And Fragrance, that moment you talk about, you also wanted to keep going because you didn't know what the fate of your daughter was, but you know you had 2 grandbabies at home. Can you tell me that thought process of yours and all going on? You were thinking about the kids at home.
Yeah, it was pretty devastating. I said if I try to go back, you know, if she's still alive, she could see me get killed. That would be devastating to her. I don't know how she would recover and not have me to support her. There was also the thought that if I go back and I get killed and she's already gone, that the children would have no one. I mean, I have other kids and I have my husband, but to lose your mother and your grandmother, and for my younger kids to lose their mom and their oldest sister would be devastating.
Yania, what was the reunion like when you all finally were able to get back together?
I cried a lot. She would not let me go.
I wouldn't let her go.
At all. I'm like, Mom, I need to breathe. She did not care as long as I was breathing next to her.
Yeah, we pretty much collided into each other.
Right.
Okay, the phone lines is open. Okay, so if y'all want to call in on this, please call in. My opinion, and this is my personal opinion. I'm not saying she was wrong. I'm not saying she was right, because I am not here to judge. I tell y'all that all the time. Yeah, I'm trying to fix my ponytail right so I can still look cute in here. But I tell y'all all the time, I am not here to judge. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, no matter what show I do. Okay, except for the ones we just showed with the red lipstick. I'm judging on that one. I'm judging. But anyways, I'm not here to judge this woman. If this is how she felt she needed to do, this is what she needed to do. Me personally, all I'm thinking about is who I'm in there with. If I know my daughter works there or my son works there, I'm looking for them. I don't think, you don't know unless you're in that position. So that's why I say I can't judge. But as far as right now, where I stand right now, if Kirsten's at home and Trey's at the grocery store with me and he's working and I'm just there, vice versa, I'm looking for them. If I had her hand or his hand and we were running, and the minute I noticed, because you probably didn't notice right then and there, I'm going to give her that. But the minute that I noticed that I don't have their hand anymore, I can't see myself not wanting to go back or not going back. I'm not going to say wanting, because that's not fair to her, because I'm sure she wanted to go back. But I cannot see myself not going back for my child. I don't care if I got 10 of them at home. 5, 1, 3. The one I'm there with, that's the one I'm there to protect as a mother. As a mother, if father's not there, that means you only got me. And I'm going to protect you the best way that I can. And if it takes both of us dying, then we both gonna die together. We both gonna die together. I just cannot see myself running to an exit door and my child's not with me anymore. Unless, I don't even know an unless. I don't. That's why sometimes, and it's sad to say, but sometimes I love going places as a family. But the way the world is now, sometimes I do be like, well, maybe I shouldn't go as a family. You know, at least Poolie will be here with them, or at least I'll be here with them. I'm sorry, y'all, this is not supposed to happen. But I'm so serious. I'm so serious. I just could not imagine thinking about my other children or my grandchildren when I'm in the store with my child, the one that I birthed. I would definitely be looking for them. But that's what I say now, because I'm not in that situation. So let's get to these comments. BG said, I look for exes when I'm in public, and I have told my adult children to do so as well. Sad, but you have to. We have a caller.
I'm 372. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Thank you for calling Peachy Tea Time.
This is Mama Peach calling.
Hey, Mama Peach. Oh, go ahead.
Yes. I'm calling it. I'm calling. I agree with you. Talking about leaving with your children. I couldn't have. If that had been me, I couldn't have left you behind neither. I would have went back trying to get my child. You know, if I would have to lose my life, that's just me losing my life.
Exactly.
But I just feel that we're supposed to try to protect our children. And another thing too, that I want to make a correction with you.
Mm-hmm.
When you had said that I was adopted into the family, that's not correct.
Okay.
I was born into the Jones family.
Okay.
But my mother passed away and left 6 children behind. And we was adopted to my mother and father. So we always was family. And my nephew is my brother. My adopted brother, you was talking about the adoption part. That's my adopted brother. That's my mother's real brother.
Okay.
And that's how we became adopted. When we became adopted, we became brothers and sisters by law. So that's my brother's son. That's how that goes. My nephew Wayne. He's named after his father, the one that lost his mother.
Okay, let me show them. Let me show them the picture again.
Family.
Okay. Let me show them the picture. Right. Hold on 1 second. Okay, that's the picture. So you said that's Wayne, and that's your brother's nephew.
That's my brother, Gillis Jones. That's his grandson.
His grandson, I'm sorry.
Yep. And Gillis have a son that's named after him, Gillis Wayne Jones. And that is Wayne's son that you're seeing right there.
Okay.
So Wayne is not this one right here, but Wayne Jones is Gillis Jones' son. Okay. And this is Wayne's son right here.
Okay.
So that's the grandson of Gillis Jones.
Okay.
So that's how he become my nephew. It's through that.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of things I haven't discussed with you how the family situation goes and stuff. Because it's still kind of hard on me when I talk back about my loved ones who are gone and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I know you need to know all this stuff. But I was trying to make a correction because my sister had called me, and so I need to make a correction for everyone to understand.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I appreciate you calling and clearing that up just as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Love you, Mom.
Love you too, sweetheart.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. So Mama P said, hold on. Let me clear this up right quick. Let me clear it on up. So I hope you all heard it. She did clear it up on how it goes. It's like she told you all, it's a lot that I just don't know about my mom's side of the family. I just know the ones that I grew up around. That's it. The ones that I grew up around. That's it. So let's go back to the comments. BG said kids don't see color until the adults mess it up. Yes. Julie said, we have rules in Saginaw. When I move, you move. Julie didn't play that at all. But Wendell said, Mama Peach on the line. Mama Peach on the line. Yes. Julie said, thanks, Auntie. Thanks for clearing that up. Yes, our family tree is confusing. Julie, it is. It's very, very confusing. So I'm finna go ahead and get into this next clip. We're still with the Buffalo. This is the Buffalo shooting. This is the young man's, this boy right here, the one that did the killing. The next clip I'm finna play, this is the hometown, the neighbors and stuff. This is the neighbors where he actually live at. This is them talking on this clip. So here we go.
As we learn more about the lives lost in yesterday's mass shooting, we're also getting more insight into the 18-year-olds who took them. Peyton Gendron drove more than 200 miles from the city of Conklin, New York, before opening fire at the Tops supermarket in Buffalo yesterday. Residents in that small town seem to be stunned by his actions, as are the rest of the country. Cody Butler is live for us in Conklin. And Cody, the reaction there is mostly one of shock, I imagine.
Good evening. Yeah, across the country, people hearing about the mass shooting first, and then people here in Conklin hearing that the shooter is right in this small community. Now, state police and the FBI have been here searching the home and the property in this part of the investigation.
This is part of our neighborhood and where we live, and it could have been at the grocery store right down the street.
Nearly 200 miles away from the deadly mass shooting in Buffalo, neighbors in Conklin are seeing the investigation unfold in their backyard.
We're walking to the end of the driveway and I'm calling them out and going, there's something going on. And this whole area up here was flooded with people.
After hours of waiting and blocking Amber Hill Drive, investigators set up a tent and entered the parents' home of Peyton Gendron. Multiple police vehicles coming and going throughout the day.
I've never seen anything like this in my life, so this is quite incredible.
to see this. It's heartbreaking for everybody.
Deborah Place and her husband, Terry, were notified by their son, who lives in Maine, that the suspect in the Buffalo mass shooting is from Conklin.
And we both just looked at each other and said, well, not from this neighborhood, maybe somewhere else down in Conklin, but not in this neighborhood.
Gendron graduated from Susquehanna Valley High School in 2021. Before graduating, he was arrested by state police for making a threatening statement. He was transported to the hospital for a mental health evaluation.
A nice family, and you just don't know. I wouldn't expect it.
Now, it's unknown how long investigators will be here on scene. As I said, state police and the FBI are searching the property here in Conklin. Rudaby?
And Cody, are investigators, are the parents rather, cooperating with investigators?
As far as we know, they are. And state police and the FBI are keeping a tight lid here in Conklin, talking to neighbors. They know the family. They tell us that they didn't want to talk to us because they knew the family and that this was a touchy situation. Rudaby?
So hard for everyone involved. Cody, thank you.
They better be cooperating. They'll be locked up just like them parents with the Oxford shooting. They'll be locked right on up. And I'll be right there talking about some, hey, lock them up, lock them up, lock them up. Hey, TT, I see you in the building, boo. But anyways, back to the story. That was sad. That was sad. And what amazes me is that the gentleman, the man that was on there said, not our community. I know that could have happened somewhere else, but that didn't happen in our community. I see I'm a little froze, y'all. But he said, not mine. That's the thing. It can happen anywhere. Anywhere. You just never know. It's happening everywhere now, y'all. Yeah, the killer was over there. Give it some time. Give it some time. The world keep going like it's going now. I ain't even gonna speak to existence. I will not. So that's the end of our Buffalo shooting story. I hope I put the stuff together for you all pretty well or great. I really hope I did. It was so many clips out there. So many clips. And of course I had to narrow it down. 4 clips. That's what we had. That's a lot. I usually show 2 clips to a story, but this story I felt like it was needed to have the amount of clips that we had. Again, these are the victims, the ones that are deceased. These are some more clips that I found on here just as well. More clips, more pictures. I just couldn't imagine. And they're all us. They're all us. Because they're in our community. It was 2 white people, they said. So I guess Roberta, they considering Roberta white, unless one of the other white people was the people that made it. Because it was 2 people, if I'm not mistaken, that did make it. 10 died. It might have been 3 more, because I thought they said it was 13 in total. But they said it was 2 white people that was shot. So that's everybody. And again, this concludes our story. And I dedicate tonight's show to Celestine Cheney. I hope I'm saying her name right, which is my cousin's mother. That's her again. And that's the end of that story. So we got one more story tonight, y'all. We will not be doing the motivation until I get everything squared away on what I can play and what I can't play. So we're going to get into this last story, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to drop my peaches, and then we'll be done with the show. So here we in Detroit.
Here at 5, it's called Operation Candyman.
a major crackdown led by state police to try to get illegal prescription drugs off the streets.
And part of it was this raid this morning at a health clinic on Detroit's west side. Sean Light was there today as it went down.
Well, the more we dig on this, the more we find out all of this happening right here on busy 8 Mile Road on the west side, all focused on this little building here called Lighthouse Medical Center. MSP going in today to raid it. The accusations that thousands of prescriptions for high-powered painkillers were being given out here each and every day. We're also told, get this place was so well known in this neighborhood that when investigators went in to shut it down today, people in the neighborhood actually cheered when they went inside.
This is what's killing Michiganders, is people doing exactly what they're doing right out here.
Right out here, right out in the open every day. Michigan State Police shutting down a dangerous pill mill. The doctor who once helped patients here is long gone. Sliding in, 2 nurse practitioners, a security guard to handle cash. This was an all-cash operation, and hundreds of people brought in, many bused to this 8 Mile Road location. Those nurse practitioners, MSP says, writing thousands of prescriptions for highly addictive opiates, OxyContin and oxycodone. No medical exam, no questions asked.
Tens of thousands of illegal prescription drugs that are out on the streets here in Michigan. They were basically, everybody knew. I mean, as soon as we hit this door, there were citizens coming out of the neighborhood giving the thumbs up and nice job. So everybody knew that this establishment was doing what it was doing.
Back here live, we have a lot of questions about this particular mill and pharmaceutical companies providing the pills to these prescriptions being written by 2 nurse practitioners without the signature of our doctor's care, and also pharmacies filling these prescriptions. When did red flags go up? We're told by MSP that the DEA has been called in to start investigating that part. Let's talk about the suspects taken into custody today. However, there are 5 of them, 1 from West Bloomfield, 1 from Grand Blanc, Van Buren Township, Detroit, and Taylor. And the big picture here is that mill has been shut down.
Okay. I don't know about y'all. I got a problem with this clip. Got a problem with it. Got a big problem. Want to know what my problem is? Why this officer sat there and said, everybody know about it. 10,000s and thousands and thousands of prescriptions was written. This is killing the Michiganders. This is what's killing the Michiganders. But everybody know about it. And you supposed to make me believe that everybody knew about it except for y'all? Everybody knew about this except for y'all. And y'all just found out. And y'all said, hey, let's go raid them. Let's go raid them. They just woke up. Even though everybody knew about this. Y'all, this been going on for years. And y'all gonna see it on the next clip. This been going on for years. And majority of the people that I saw was black. Except for the nurse practitioners. Because you had on scrubs. Now, I know a lot of y'all probably sitting back right now wondering, well, who was the doctor? Who was the doctor should be locked up too. Baby, the doctor sold the building. The doctor sold the building years ago. A year, 2 years ago, however many years, he sold it. And the nurse practitioners was in there, wasn't checking folks out, wasn't giving them exam, none of that. Just writing these prescriptions. And you got to give me cash. But baby, they weren't the only ones in there collecting money. Nah, they weren't the only ones. Peep this out.
Fox 2's cameras rolling Wednesday morning as undercover state police, armed with a search warrant, busted into the Lighthouse Medical Center, a weight loss clinic, on 8 Mile near Wyoming.
What we want to make sure is this place never opens up and operates again.
Not because patients weren't losing weight. No, state police say this was an illegal opioid operation.
This is the beginning stages of Operation Candyman.
A pill mill, a diversion operation, whatever you call it.
This is what's killing Michiganders.
But more specifically,
2 nurse practitioners that worked inside of this establishment that are issuing prescriptions for oxycodone, for different opioids to people that weren't allowed to actually have them.
And besides the nurse practitioners, arrested were the main guy, and then a security guy who handled the money, and others. And MSP issued subpoenas related to this operation in West Bloomfield, Grand Blanc, Van Buren Township, Detroit, and Taylor.
And it's been going on for years.
How do you know that?
Years. The neighborhood talks.
Yeah, I seen people go in and out of there.
What do you think?
I thought it was a health clinic.
They're selling drugs.
I didn't know that.
I was riding past, I said, oh, Lord, I said, they must be raiding Dr. Pettaway's office.
You knew that?
Yes, I knew it.
Are you Dr. Pettaway?
Yeah.
Doctor, there was a raid at your office earlier today with the state cops. They arrested at least 5 people.
Wow.
Now, state police say that Dr. Pettaway sold the office a year ago and is not involved in this operation. Nevertheless,
there are literally busloads of people being driven up to this establishment to get their illegal prescriptions.
Oh, and one more got arrested while we were there. So, what's next?
Now it's time to do the paperwork and put people in prison.
Doctor knew this was, if that woman said this has been going on for years and he sold the building a year ago, doctor need to be locked up too. Allegedly. Doctor need to be locked up too. He knew. That's why he saw. Doctor said pressure, which is what PGT time does. We give pressure. Baby, pressure is not nothing to play with. Do you hear me? This doctor, can't nobody tell me this doctor wasn't doing the same thing. How did the nurse practitioners get the slips, the prescription slips to give to the people? He sold the building about a year ago. He probably getting paid off of it too. He getting his cut. Wow. You knew. This is not funny, y'all. This is not funny. This is sad because it's killing our black community. Even it ain't killing them, it's making them go rob and steal and kill other people. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it, y'all. I do not get it. Like, why did it take this many years for the police to go and raid it? Why did you have to raid it now? You didn't raid it before. I tell people, I say this all the time on my show, and I tell people, YouTube, social media, these videos, they all the devil. Don't get me wrong, except for PGT time. And other shows is not the devil's either, because we trying to bring awareness and stuff, you know. But when you got all that stuff going on, it's pressure. You don't know who gonna pick up a story. You don't know whose story gonna go viral. Them folks probably been sitting back for years and months. Like, okay, we need to hurry up and go bust these folks or something. They probably getting paid off of it too. Allegedly. This is why. This is why Poolie be trying to stop me. He be trying to stop me because I get to going and 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 going, and I get to talking and saying too much. But they probably was getting paid too. Now it's getting hot in the kitchen. Now it's just like how I feel about R. Kelly in Chicago. R. Kelly wasn't making them no more money in Chicago. He wasn't making enough money to put in the black community too. You know, we putting 70%. We're going to put 80%. Matter of fact, we put 90% in the white folks community in Chicago. Then we're going to put the other 10% in the black community. Even though R. Kelly black and regular black folks. But the money going to the white folks areas and white folks communities and all that stuff. But R. Kelly ain't making no money no more. So since he's not making no money no more, lock his ass up. He gotta go. And that's how I feel like in this situation right here. Except for they was making money. Don't get it twisted. They probably was making some bread. But it's getting hot in the kitchen. They covering too many stories on social media about Detroit. Too many stories about Chicago, but Chicago said, to hell, we can care less. Keep them coming. We still gonna do our thing. You know? And again, this is not funny. I'm not laughing at it. Nothing like that. But the truth is the truth. Allegedly. Because this is PGT Type Show on YouTube, Facebook, and Facebook again. So we have to say allegedly. But my thoughts is my thoughts. And this is how I think. This is how I think. It all has to do with money. Everybody getting paid, baby. Everybody getting paid. Everybody getting a piece of somebody's pie. And if the pie ain't baking fast enough, baby, you got to go. You got to go. Because it's getting hot in the kitchen. Getting hot in the kitchen, but the pie ain't cooking fast enough. So they got to go. TT said, wherever they were taking the prescriptions to the pharmacy, why didn't the pharmacy report it? That exactly. I was just about to say something different, but I just got what you said. Yes, because they was writing up a prescription drug. So they still got to take it to a pharmacy to cash it in. Unless they are a pharmacy just as well, and they write it up and cash it right in where they are. Because they said some of them folks was coming straight out with the prescription drugs. Selling them right on the street, get the money, go right on back to the building again. And the sad part about it is, y'all, this is the sad part about it. The bad part about it. They ain't need that building. Do y'all know how many abandoned buildings, period, houses, duplexes, apartments, buildings? It's so many abandoned buildings. They got pack up, get right on up out of jail, and move it right on to another one. Why? Because they're not tearing these abandoned houses and apartments and whatever, duplex. They ain't tearing them down. They letting these people go and stay in there with rats and roaches and all that crap. No light bill. No nothing. They just living rent-free, cold as hell. But they don't care. Why? Because they got their prescription drugs. They got their other drugs just as well. They alcohol. Well, how they getting alcohol? Because they standing out there in front of the store asking y'all for $1 or $2. Telling y'all this side story. Make y'all believe them and give them $1 or $2. When y'all could be right. Y'all see that going across the screen? The Mrs. Cash App. $ Care 17. I could buy my own drink. Everything y'all give going straight to Peach Tea Time. Y'all give them folks y'all money, they going straight to the liquor store. To the liquor store. Or whatever else, the drug house, whatever. Be mindful of what y'all doing and who y'all giving y'all money to. I'm telling you, there's a lot of them here in Atlanta. And baby, I keep it pushing. The guy really has laid on my heart to give somebody some money. He has. But he really got to lay it on my heart. But anyways, y'all, we finna go ahead and get off here. Y'all know how I do. I can just keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. Now, right now, I'm finna get right on off here because I'm extra crunk. I always be extra crunk when I get out the shower. And I'm finna go talk to Bully until he falls asleep. But thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Like I told you all before at the beginning of the show, we will not have a motivation tonight because I'm still trying to figure out the whole kinks and everything with YouTube so I can officially start getting paid for these videos that I'm showing. These are videos that definitely need to be paid for. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the shows that I've done in the past are shows that everybody should have been seeing. Everybody. But the thing is, when it comes to doing shows on crime, it's so sad to say and so unfortunate. But guess what? I never, ever run out of commentary. Never. It seems like it's an ongoing thing. It's so much stuff I see that I can't even bring because I got peachy news on Wednesdays, because I got peachy hits on Saturdays, which, you know, everything runs accordingly. I got peachy talks with me and my husband on Fridays where we try to bring in crime, but we also try to tie in relationships. And because we do advocate for marriage, you know, so it's a lot going on out there, y'all. But I'm going to keep bringing it and bringing it and bringing it. I want y'all to keep subscribing. I want y'all, if you already subscribed, I want y'all to keep liking these pages on Facebook and sharing it. And on YouTube, I want y'all to keep hitting those thumbs up, commenting, sharing these videos, y'all. Everybody, share these videos. When you see somebody out there in the streets, your friends, your family, please let them know. Check out Peachy Tea Time. Check her out. I am growing. I'm not on here begging y'all, but I'm on here telling y'all that people need to know about these shows. It's not about me, even though I'm trying to make a few little coins off of this. I ain't gonna even lie. But the main focus is bringing awareness. So y'all would know. You can't be going out in these streets reckless. You can't. If you believe in, I'm sorry to say this, but if you believe in a tool, you better carry it everywhere you go. Make sure you go to training, you go to the gun range, you get a permit, get licensed, all that. Make sure you go purchase it. Don't do like that girl did Saturday that I showed on the show. Buy her AR-15 off the streets. Don't do that. Protect yourself in all aspects. Okay? So I appreciate y'all for joining me tonight. I love when it's time on Mondays. I love Mondays. I love all the days that I do my show. Don't get me wrong. I love Fridays being on with my husband. I love being on with Jason because we dig down deep into the peachy news. We have our family members that come on. And again, if you are a family member that has lost a loved one due to gun violence, or even if you lost, I was trying to find my flyer. Oh, there we go. Even if you lost a girlfriend, boyfriend, you know, a close friend, and make sure you talk to their family first, though. But if you lost them through murder, gun violence, domestic violence, the prison system, what is it? What else? Prison. I mean, the police, even missing persons. Even missing persons. We also cover that just as well. So hit me up. Hit me up when I tell you it's healing. It's not people being nosy. It's not, oh, I'm nervous to get up here. I don't know if I look good. It ain't even all about that. It's about getting your loved one's story out there to help the person that is living. The ones that could possibly be making the wrong choices, or you got some people that didn't even make wrong choices, but just bring awareness. reach out to me, DM me, inbox me, text me, email me, whichever way it takes for you to get to me. Please do so. I don't care if it happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, yesterday, the day before yesterday, last week, the week before last. It don't matter. It do not matter. Because you know why? The stories still seem like they end up being the same thing, just with a twist to it. So please, 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 go ahead, send me your information. We will put you on schedule. So that is the truth, y'all. We got to put you on schedule. PGT time doing it like that. PG News, we doing it like that. We got to put people on schedule. Because people coming. They coming from everywhere. Want to come on the show to tell their loved one story. I never would have thought in a million years that idea that I came up with was going to explode the way it did. And I'm just being honest. So I try to make it as comfortable as possible, me and Jason. If you come on with me and my husband, I try to make it as comfortable as possible then just as well. The next story that we have coming up on Wednesday is Miss Carrie A. Winfrey. She is now deceased. The parents, which is mother and father, will be coming on the show. This is going to be very troubling to you all. I've heard the entire story from Mom. I've heard part of the story from Dad. But me and Mom sat on the phone for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and she told me the entire story as far as what she knows. She's going to come on Wednesday, her and Dad, and they're going to give the story again to everyone. This young lady right here, Carrie A, was only 20 years old when she was deceased, when she was murdered. We ain't even going to play around with it. When she was murdered. So I really, 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 really highly suggest, I can't say it enough, I suggest each and every person that's listening to my voice right now as I speak, share this video with somebody. If you don't share it, let them know to tune in on Wednesday at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. You would not want to miss this show. And that's all I can say. You do not want to miss this show. The story behind this young lady murder is unbelievable. The storyline is so unbelievable. But this is what Mama said happened. That's all we could go by, is what she knows. So make sure y'all tune in this Wednesday, 9 o'clock. We will have Carrie A's mother. Her name is Keisha. She will be on the show. Dad will be on the show just as well. And also, before we get off of here, thank you. How do you pronounce it? Nicolelle? Nicolelle, are you a new person? Well, no, you're not a new person because you said another great discussion. Keep informing the masses. Yes. It's so important. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Once again, this show is dedicated to each and every person that lost their lives in the shooting at Tops Grocery Store in Buffalo, New York. These are some more pictures that I've already showed. And to my cousin, Wayne, who lost his mother, who y'all see right there on the picture, in that senseless killing. My heart goes out to you. I love you, even though I don't know you, but I love you. And this right here is the actual murderer. The killer that done it all. This is him. His ass. I said like that, but that's him. Hey, Tamika. So we finna get out of here, y'all. I'm finna go talk Pooley's ear off until he falls asleep. But thank you all so much for joining me. I love you, my Mr. Peachtas and Miss Peaches. I love you to all my family, to all my friends, to each and every person that took the time out to watch my show tonight. I love you all. Mwah. The missus with the kisses. Now here go my baby. Yeah, she graduating. She graduating on Wednesday. We gonna be celebrating. Hey.